One of the most important nights in history began like any other. The world was quiet and most people were asleep. No one knew that in a small town called Bethlehem, everything was about to change. The streets were crowded. A young woman named Mary and her husband Joseph were looking for a place to stay, but every inn, every place where travelers could sleep was full. So, outside the city lights, in a simple stable meant for animals, Mary gave birth to her son in silence. Outside of the city, Mary and Joseph found a simple stable. It was filled with sheep and cows. And when the time came, Mary gave birth to her son, not in a palace or even a warm home, but in that simple stable meant for animals. She wrapped him in soft cloth and laid him in a manger, a trough where the animals ate, because there was nowhere else to lay him. She didn't know it yet, but she was holding the one who made the stars. Mary looked at her child and knew that somehow everything would be different now. The baby's name was Jesus. It means God saves. And that's what he came to do, to save us, because he loves us. The Savior of the world came quietly. No trumpets sounded, no armies marched, only the soft cry of a newborn child. It happened just as the prophets had said. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. God's promise had been kept. The light had come into the world, not in power, but in love. And though few knew it that night, nothing would ever be the same again. While this was happening, shepherds were out in the fields, keeping watch over their sheep. They did not know that their long waiting was almost over, that their Savior was coming that very night. Out under the stars, the world was quiet, as if even creation was holding its breath. Then suddenly, light filled the sky, brighter than any sunrise. An angel appeared, and the shepherds were afraid at first. Who wouldn't be? But the angel spoke gently.
Do not be afraid. I have come to bring you the happiest of news. Today, your King is born. Rejoice with us and sing.
Then the sky filled with countless angels, and their song rang out.
Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests.
And so their fear turned to joy. They looked at one another, hearts pounding, and ran to see the child who would change everything. When the shepherds found him, he was not what they expected. They didn't find a warrior or a ruler, only a baby, wrapped in cloth, lying in a manger. But as they knelt before him, they knew this was no ordinary child. The long waiting of Israel was over. Hope had taken flesh. The people of Israel had been waiting for someone to save them. They called him the Messiah, a word that means the one chosen and blessed by God. But the Messiah didn't come to a palace. He came to a poor family. He didn't come to rule by fear, but to save through love. Even at his birth, he was already giving himself away. Mary looked down at her son and whispered the name the angel had given.
My Jesus.
God saves. She couldn't see the cross that would one day stand on another hill, but she already knew this child was born to bring light into every darkness. The world would never be the same. This was the moment all of heaven had waited for. The word that spoke creation into being now breathed the same air as his creatures. The hands that shaped the stars were small enough to be held. The one who reigns from eternity took his first breath in time. We live inside God's story, and now God had written himself into that story too. Heaven watched in silence as the miracle unfolded. The angels who sang the universe into motion looked on in wonder. The Son of God, through whom all things were made, was now a tiny child, wrapped in cloth and resting in his mother's arms. No throne, no crown, no fanfare. Only the quiet love of a mother, the faith of a father, and the gentle breathing of a newborn king. The world slept, unaware that its maker had entered his creation. But heaven rejoiced, for in that moment the distance between God and man was gone forever. And as we draw near to Bethlehem in our own hearts, as we wait for Christmas Day, we remember that God still comes quietly, not in thunder or spectacle, but in small, humble ways, in the silence of prayer. in the kindness that costs something, in the love that keeps going when no one else sees. The world had waited for the light to come, for the Savior to be born, and at last, he came. The promise was fulfilled and hope had taken flesh. But Advent reminds us that the story doesn't end in Bethlehem. The light has come, and still we wait for it to shine fully in us, in our world, in every heart that has not yet seen him. The people of Israel longed for his coming, yet many did not recognize him when he stood among them. We too can miss him if our hearts grow dull, if we stop watching for his quiet approach. So as we draw near to Christmas, we keep watch in hope. We wait for the Savior who has come and who will come again. Because Advent is not only about remembering his birth, it's about learning to recognize him when he comes.